Right, so now I'm going to use this information that I've learned about lines, line segments, and rays to be able to draw them. So here it tells me what to draw. So this right here does not have any arrows. See this, how this one has one arrow and this has two arrows, right? That's like our line, right? Our ray and our line segment. Even though you don't see the dots here, this represents a line segment. So this says line segment QT. Okay, so here's the letters Q and T. So that means it wants me to connect these to make a line segment. So all I have to do is draw and connect them like that. And here's the point, and here's the other end point. So that's how you draw QT. Now this one says DT. So here's the point D, here's point T, and now they want me to connect them to make a ray, one endpoint and one with an arrow. So I'm going to have D here, T here, and I'm going to go past it a little bit with an arrow. I see for the line segment, I didn't go past it because it had two different endpoints, but the ray has one endpoint and then keeps on going. So I want to show that it's continuing to move after that with that arrow. Right, so now I'm going to draw MQ, which is going to be a line with two arrows. So here is M and here is Q. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of go past the Q and go past the M. I'm going to draw an arrow on each side. Okay, if you need help remembering, you can always look back at this chart just like we did. I showed you at the beginning. Okay, I told you that would be very helpful. So here I would like for you to do the same thing, but these new points. So this line segment, this ray, and this line. Okay, so you can draw those here. And then we're going to be looking at how does this look on Evaluate, because they don't have you draw like I am having you do here. Instead, it looks something like this. It gives you a student who makes a claim, who says something about the lines or line segments or rays, and then they want you to say if she's correct or not by explaining what it looks like. So I'm going to show you that here. It's not something that we did very well on, okay? So only a few of us got this correct. So this is my example. So it says, Daniel claims that he has made a ray by joining two line segments. So then complete this statement. So I'm going to draw this out. Okay, it says Daniel claims he has made a ray. Well, what do I know? So what does a ray look like? I think of that cheerleader, hooray. So I know a ray should look like this, one endpoint and one arrow. He says that joining two line segments. Okay, so I noticed that there are two line segments he's talking about. So what does that actually look like what he's showing? So this is what I noticed I'm supposed to make. What does he make? So he has two line segments. So I know a line segment has end point and an end point. Now it says he joins them. So I think I'm putting those together. So I'm going to put another one here, and I know it has an endpoint. Okay, so I know this is what an array is supposed to look like. It has an arrow going to one side. Two line segments, there's no arrows. They don't go off to any side. So I don't think this makes sense. So when I look here, it says Daniel's claim does or does not make sense. Well, does his answer make sense? If this is what it's supposed to look like and this is what I drew, does that work? No. So I'm going to say it does not make sense. Now, why? It says because line segments, what? What do line segments have? Do they have exactly two endpoints? They go on both directions without stopping, or they have one endpoint and then go forever in one direction. Okay, well, this says a line segment. So line segments are like the Power Ranger. Line segment, right? So that would be two endpoints, an end and an end. So this is the one I would choose. And here it says, while a ray, that's what I drew here, okay, that has hooray, right, like the cheerleader. So it does not have two endpoints. It doesn't go on forever. It has one endpoint and then goes on forever in the other direction. So I would choose this one. So here I had to explain the line segment, and here I had to explain the ray, okay, and draw this out. This can get a little tricky, but I know you guys can do this. Okay, so I'm going to have you guys practice this as well. So here, Curvin makes a claim that I want you to see if you can draw what you're supposed to notice, and then what does it look like based on what he says, and then does it make sense or not, and then explain what a line is like and what a ray is like. Okay, and then do this one, what Michaela thinks. Okay, same thing. Okay, and see if you can explain the line segments and a line. Draw what you notice based on what she's supposed to draw, and then what did she actually draw? And then always reflect. Okay, so right here, okay, if you would like some extra practice, go to IXL and you can do CC5, lines, line segments, and rays. All right, thanks guys.